Podcast Network.
Huh, interesting. What a concept. What a country.
Even though we are like 3 weeks late on recording for this, whatever this movie is. Anyway, welcome to the One
This
Take Podcast.
utterly fine movie. Like, I don't,
I don't even like. Sure, okay.
this movie is fine. Like, I don't get what. Like,
I don't
Tej
think
may
I
differ.
agree. I don't think I agree at
it
all.
came out. It came out with like a 31% on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. I was expecting like the worst movie of all time.
That's
Like
too
when this
low.
shit dropped.
That's too low. But
Welcome to the One Take Podcast, episode 125. We are doing "Don't Worry, Darling." Yay! Please clap.
We are the
Every-
biggest Florence Pugh supporters. We had.
Yeah, we are supporting as best we know how. This is still the Florence Pugh agenda, and I'm thinking maybe that Dex's Harry Styles agenda won.
Oh, I
it
absolutely
won.
won. Yeah, he's out of here. Get him. He's done. Finished.
Ugh.
Between this and My Policeman, get him out of here.
We'll talk about it. All right. Don't worry, darling. Came out just a couple of weeks ago. 2022 movie, 2 hours, 3 minutes long. That is also a problem that I'll talk about with this movie. Yuck. A 1950s housewife living with her husband in a utopian experimental community begins to worry that his glamorous company could be hiding disturbing secrets. 6.2 on IMDb, number 2 ranked popularity trending movie right now from that website. Metascore of 48. Written and directed. Actually, she didn't write it. Sorry. Directed by Olivia Wilde. Her sophomore effort after Booksmart. Written by Katie, kind of rewritten, I think, by Katie Silverman, based on a story by Carrie Van Dyke and Shane Van Dyke. Stars our girl, our queen, our muse, Florence Pugh. Harry Styles in a role in this as well. Olivia Wilde giving herself all the best lines. Chris Pine, Gemma Chan, a bunch of beautiful people, and Nick Kroll.
Look, bro, Nick Kroll is not ugly.
He's not.
He definitely doesn't. He doesn't like hit the. He's not shooting par in this course here with the rest of the cast. But
in fact, a lot of people online
man.
on TikTok find him attractive. It just, when you're having to go against Harry Styles and Chris Pine,
It's unfair.
man, yeah, man, that's not fair.
Yeah, Nick Kroll is like regular guy hot. He's not like movie star guy hot, which it's fine.
Happens to the best.
A little out of his depth here.
Yeah, I mean, people had to play Jordan in his prime too. Like, it is what it is.
Regular fucking future real estate agents go out there and guard Patrick Mahomes every Sunday. Like, it happens.
Oh God. All right. So this stars a litany of hot people. That's just insane how many hot people are on the screen actually in this movie. But it has made, it's done not bad. We can talk about why. We talked about the controversies, I think, in full. I think we need to talk more about the content of the film at this point. But I mean, based on the strength of its stars, maybe sometimes the strength of the controversy, it's made $54 million off of a $20 million budget. It was number one, obviously, opening weekend with a $20 million opening weekend at the box office.
So Warner Bros. Can stay in business for another few months.
They have enough money to fund the marketing for Black Adam.
We didn't know if they were going to make it, but it looks like they can.
They got one more movie to release, and it also, too, could be a stinker.
People love a train wreck, and then that's everything. They just leaned into it and said, "Fuck it, come see our train wreck," and they delivered it. I figured it would do pretty good business just because you got stars and you got a train wreck. Who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah, I mean, if this comes away, look, the success is if a $20 million comes away with $75 million now, that's a win. That's a huge win in today's box office. Maybe a movie like this with the ultimate star power in the 90s or even the early 2000s is like, we pressed 110 million at the box office just off the back of Harry Styles. You know what I mean? But I don't think we're in that range anymore. So yeah, it's made its money. You always want to make double your money plus some. That's when you make back your investment. We say it often on this podcast, but it's good, I think, even for middling. When you see middling movies make good money, I think that's good for everyone, to be completely honest, which is a weird thing to say. Let's see, but it has. This is where we kind of get contentious. 39% from critics, 75% audience score. Take that for what it's worth. Rotten Tomatoes and most rating review sites are inherently broken, but 39% from critics. Despite an intriguing array of talent on either side of the camera, Don't Worry, Darling is mostly muddled rehash of overly familiar themes. I kind of agree with that. We'll get into more of that with Tej's review because you were pretty critical of this movie, Tej.
This is the time I hate to be right. When I first saw this trailer, and I'm pretty sure it was on this podcast, I said this film is going to turn on the twist, and if the twist is good, it will be good. But if the twist is bad, this is going to be a shit film. So you jump into this film. First of all, the cinematography is beautiful. There are some great shots in this film. Obviously, the cinematography is top tier. Florence Pugh is doing Florence Pugh things, which means she's just phenomenal. She's dropping 45. In the first quarter, she got about 17 points in the first quarter. Like, she's doing great. Styles is not doing great, but you're like, okay, well, we could maybe look past this. And so you're sitting through this movie. It looks great. It looks expensive. And you're waiting, and then you're waiting, and then you're waiting, and you know from the beginning, okay, something's wrong here. And I assume we're not going to spoil yet until we get to it later in the podcast, but you're like, okay, something's wrong. Got it. Okay, the black lady has shown us that something's wrong. Cool. And so you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop of like, what is the actual problem here? Why is Florence Pugh's character glitching? What's going on? And I'm not having a bad.
Don't care to spoil it. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I kind of don't care to spoil this movie. It's been 2 weeks.
Oh, then let's spoil it. I like that even more. Perfect.
It's been 2 weeks. Who's ever going to see this movie has seen this movie.
Here's your spoiler alert. We're going to spoil this film. If you're watching now or you're listening now and you want to see this film, spoiler alert. We're about to spoil the shit out of this movie. Okay.
Let's go.
So we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it's like, okay, cool. I'm not having a bad time, but I'm kind of confused about some of the narrative choices. I'm kind of confused about why Harry Styles has a British accent sometimes, but then sometimes he doesn't. I don't know if that's because he's a bad actor or because I'm supposed to notice that his accent keeps going away. I don't know why Olivia Wilde looks so crazy. Like every time she's on screen, she looks a little bit crazier. Her makeup looks a little bit less done. And I'm like, am I supposed to notice that? Or what's going on here? I'm trying to ignore the fact that Harry Styles and Florence Pugh are having sex scenes, but they have no sexual chemistry or chemistry whatsoever together.
Unsexy sex scenes.
How
did they do that?
And Olivia Wilde talked a lot about how this scene was going to be one of the first movies that showed the joy and pleasure of female sex. And I'm not a woman, so maybe I can't speak on this, but that's not what I took away from those sex scenes at all. Did not be.
Also, just not true from Olivia Wilde. Just untrue.
Yeah. All she did was show her getting her pussy. Okay, cool. I can respect that, but that doesn't mean like it didn't look like anybody was having a particularly good time. But
Lady Gaga had a way better time in House of Gucci.
Facts, way better time.
Yeah.
And so you're watching this movie, and it's clear that like you have seen the better version of this movie already. You've seen the Stepford Wives, you've seen the Matrix, you've seen the Truman Show, and this is playing on all those things. All movies that Olivia Wilde herself cited in the press tour, and this movie is a bastardized version of that. In 2022, we are making a feminist movie, and we get to the end of this film after all this journey, and the twist is that she's hooked up to a fake matrix and tied to her boyfriend's bed, and Harry Styles is an incel. When this dropped, my theater just went silent, and not in a good way. It went silent in a, you have got to be kidding me. That's what we just sat through 2 hours.
I audibly went, and I don't do this, but I leaned over to Kayla and I go, fucking boo.
Who I was going to, I leaned over. I kept leaning over. I said, I know this twist is about to be stupid. And it happened. I leaned over to her. I said, that is the dumbest thing. Like, it's the problem with the movie is that there's no subtext of this movie. It is all right there in your face. It's like if we didn't know that Florence Pugh is being controlled, maybe you can get that twist off. But when you show us in the trailers and in the beginning of the movie that Florence Pugh is obviously something's wrong, you just assume that she's being controlled. Then when you get to the landing of the plot, you're like, bro, what? We could have like movies have done the same thing so much better and so much with so much more subtext as opposed to just like heavy-handed. Like she is literally strapped to the bed of an incel. That is literally the twist of this movie, and it's like, oh, so she's on. So this is like an internet thing. Then, if you think about the actual movie, once that happens, first of all, there's a car chase, which literally makes no sense because the car chase people are trying to pull her out of a moving vehicle, which doesn't really make sense. They're using one arm reaching into her car. What the fuck are you gonna do? You gonna pull a human out of a car? These dudes don't look like they lift weights. None of them are particularly swole looking. So she's driving. She gets to the end, and it's like, yay, she made it out. But then the movie ends. Gemma Chan's character, who had nothing to do, and it was clear they cut the fuck out of her parts, just stabs Chris Pine, and that is literally her last scene. She says, "I'm going to take over now." End of her. You don't see her again. You don't see her again. Like, okay, it's my time now. Okay,
but
cool.
They cut
like,
35 minutes out of this movie, and it was still too long.
They definitely cut something because that was not supposed to be Gemma Chan's last scene. If she says something like "It's my turn now," you have to have a scene that establishes what's her. What does that mean? We don't get that.
The sequel to Don't Worry, Darling.
Then they a lot of the science they just wash away. They just have somebody say it. So they just have somebody literally say, when a man dies in this little computer game, he dies in real life. You're like, oh shit. Okay, so that means he's dead in real life. They don't tell you whether the black girl who killed herself is dead in real life. And I think they're trying to make you seem like if a woman dies here, she doesn't die here. But if a man dies here, he dies for real. Makes no sense.
Because they're both hooked up to the same shit.
Okay, but answer this for me, because this is the part that really pissed me off. Once I left the movie theater, I thought about it for 5 minutes. I was very angry. And then I said, wait a minute. So for X amount of time, who knows how much time, Harry Styles' character is leaving the Matrix, going to do work and make money so that he can keep him and his girlfriend in the Matrix, right? Does this girlfriend have no family on the outside? I haven't talked to my daughter in 6 months, 9 months, 4 months, 2 weeks. Do her coworkers not exist anymore? Hey, this doctor who showed up to work every day all of a sudden stopped showing up for work.
Surgeon, yeah.
This surgeon, like this normal woman who has friends and family, literally just drops off the face of the earth. And by the way, all the other women in here are also prisoners, but no one's supposed to find this. And so they're scrambling to make sure, I guess the point of scrambling to make sure she doesn't leave is that you don't want her to tell the people in the real world. But otherwise, I didn't really know or care why we had to catch her. It just literally made no sense. And I will say this. It is hard. This is the hardest. I think Sean Fennessy said this on his pod, and I loved it. This is the hardest genre to make a movie in. Sci-fi, psychological thriller, that is literally the hardest genre to make a movie in. There are some cool shots in this movie. The shot where they're on the table and they spin around and you see Florence Pugh getting her pussy ate through the glass is pretty cool. When they're at the first meeting at Chris Pine's house and there's these little groups and all the women's group, they're circling around the women's group and the men's group and kind of showing that like you've been thrown into this place. You don't really know what's happening. You don't really know if it's real. I thought some of that stuff was really cool. The glass, the wall closing in on Florence Pugh just looked great. Her just putting saran wrap around her face, even though I saw it in the trailer, just really worked. Like in the movie, that shit was cool. But like, if you think about this movie longer than 2 seconds, it falls apart, which is perfectly fine with me, except for this movie purports to be saying something. Olivia Wilde is in the press talking about how important this movie is, that it exists. There are feminist movies that were made 50, 60, 70 years ago that get the message across better than this does. And it's 2022. Like, it's so ham-fisted. I walked away being really upset with it, although I didn't have a bad time. I would give it a B-. I thought it was nasty. I thought it was very nasty. If you're gonna have a movie with a message, give me the fucking message. But like, just the way it was done, it was clear that the movie was done in the hands of somebody who was like not very good at what they're doing and just club-footing everything across the screen. The little ballet scenes, which control is good, and it's like, bro, you are hitting us over the head with this, and then the twist doesn't work. You can't set up a sci-fi movie in that way. Nice try. Love the cinematographer, but she's already a great cinematographer. It's written badly. I go B-.
It's a like, I'm not taking points out. What'd you give it?
B-.
A B-?
B minus.
After all of that,
I wanted to give it a C plus, but
Oh.
but I want to give it a C plus, but I did not. For the first hour, I was not having a bad time. Also, Harry Styles is horrendous at acting. Like he's not just there; he's actively in the way. Like he actually can't do this stuff, guys.
I don't
Thank you.
know.
I'm changing
I
it to
don't
a
know if
C.
I
I'm sorry,
agree.
I'm changing it to a C. Harry Styles is bad, bro. I haven't seen My Policeman. People say he's good in it.
I don't.
I have heard
promise
that
you
he
he's
is
not.
awful in my
I
police.
promise you he's not, bro. He's
I
not
didn't
good.
I have
in
heard he is
way.
fucking terrible in that movie.
He's Rami Malek level bad, Royden. He is. Get him out of here.
Oh,
Maybe I
no,
gotta rewatch
don't do that to Rami Malek, bro. Don't.
Rami Malek does have an Oscar regardless. Of
I don't fuck with Rami Malek, but let's not do that to Rami Malek. We ain't got to do that to the man.
Royden,
Hold
which one
on
is worse at? Do you think Rami Malek is better at acting than Harry Styles?
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
1000%. Come
I don't
on.
know, guys.
Look, man, I can
man.
get through a movie with Rami Malek in it and be like fuck Rami Malek, but fine. Like this movie, I was like, get Harry Styles the fuck off my screen, dude. Like,
See,
what
but
are you doing?
I was more focused at on because they buried him. He was insignificant in this movie.
That's
He
what
didn't
I'm saying.
bother
That's
you?
what made the movie worse. Like,
No, he didn't actively bother me.
if they have like a good Jack in this movie who can actually act and give you something, that makes everything about it better. Like
The
they
scene
hit
where she
Harry
feels-
Styles.
But
They
barely.
hit Harry Styles for 2 hours, and then we're like, he's secretly an incel. He listens to podcasts and YouTube. You're supposed to be like, ooh, I don't give a fuck because it's Harry
The scene where
Styles.
she finds out, okay, the love of my life has betrayed me in this way. Like, you can't hide him in that scene. He has to be able to bring something to the scene, and he is just shit. He is just awful, and it takes you out of the moment immediately because it's just like, this guy can't do the emotional stuff.
And also, I don't care
He
about
can't do
him.
it.
Like, I didn't care that they were in love before. I didn't care that he's an incel in real life or whatever. I didn't care about any of it because they had to hide it in the entire goddamn movie. Chris Pine, I was like, I want more Chris Pine on my screen.
He was having a great time. Chris
I'm
Pine
fucking
was
loving
in his
everything
bag.
Chris Pine is doing. I want more
I
Chris
will agree
Pine.
with that. I think he knew what
He
movie
was having a great time. He knew what movie he was
figured it out.
making.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Jim
was like,
Chan
I need more Chris
did
Pine.
not know what movie she was in, but
I-
Chris Pine knew what movie he was in.
I think we got to call it on Jim and Chan, y'all. I think it's over.
Oh,
Oh,
not
shit.
in it.
me.
Oh shit!
I think it's over, bro. I don't.
That's not
shit.
fair, bro.
I don't
That's
think she
not
got it,
fair.
bro. Look at dog.
That's not fair.
Look, okay, between what
Can't
Eternals,
do it off of like
and-
10 lines in this movie. No way.
but
The
we
direction of
added
this
up.
movie is so bad. We have to give her a mulligan, bro. We can't do that.
We added up. She had Chloe Zhao, fucking best director Oscar winner for Eternals, and she was awful in that. Well, she wasn't
Hey,
awful, but like,
I think
She
we
wasn't
should cancel
good.
Chloe Zhao and not Gemma Chan because Chloe Zhao fucking stinks.
holy shit, no.
I'm tired of that shit.
If I gotta cancel one or the other, I'm picking.
We
Shit,
are
get
we
him
are
out of here.
we are devolving on we just hate women on this podcast
Yeah, but
right now. This
Asian women
conversation,
specifically right
So
now.
let's veer
Stop
off
Asian
this
hate
path.
right now. But look, bro, I gotta call it on Jim Chan. I'm sorry, I do. It's a wrap.
Damn,
for
that's
me.
crazy. I didn't know you were gonna do this.
I gotta call it on Jim Chan, bro. I don't see it. It's not.
Damn,
I thought I saw it with Crazy Rich Asians, but it just ain't there, man. I haven't seen it since.
Damn.
Oh man! All right, Dex, go ahead. I'll follow you up because we're gonna sandwich your decent review between me and Teach shitting
Oh
on this.
my lord.
Look, do I think this movie is good? No, but it's fine. This movie was perfectly fine to me. If you watched the trailer and you were like, oh, this seems pretty cool. It's Florence Pugh, it's Harry Styles, it's Chris Pine, beautiful gowns. Olivia Wilde directed it. This seems like kind of trippy and cool and creepy. I mean, you got exactly what the trailer told you were about to get. You know what I'm saying? When I saw like the reviews come out of like Venice or wherever, this premiered at Venice. When I saw the reviews coming out and it was like a 27, a 31 or whatever, I was like, oh, this is going to be fucking awful. Like this movie is going to fucking stink. And I watched it and I was like, this is fine. Like, this is okay. This is cool. I'm having a decent time. And then, we get to the end, the twist. it feels very, The Village. It feels like The Village meets The Matrix.
Great
meets,
comparison.
Yeah, The Village meets The Matrix meets fucking YouTube, but like it's
I was gonna say, and
whatever.
I don't like. This is my one point about the twist is that I called part of the twist from a mile away. I would have liked it better if it was like The Village, where it was like somehow they're in this utopian society that's outside of actual modernity, but instead now we're in the Matrix 2. No, just do
Yeah.
one or the other. Like,
It's the metaverse, but The Village. But yeah, I mean, like, I get it, right? The whole I get the feminist angle of it, and I respect and appreciate that. That's cool with me. We gotta, stop letting men and their toxic masculinity and not, being breadwinners ruin things for women. Cool. I appreciate that. That's a totally fine message for this movie.
Yep.
But like the rest of it, it's like just completely okay to me, except Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh rises above. Chris Pine rises above. Everyone else is fine to bad. Bad being Harry Styles. The script is not. The script isn't good. Like I can't remember any lines from this movie off the top of my head, to be honest. But like it didn't ruin it for me. There's a lot of creepy imagery in this that's like really unsettling, to be honest. And I was with that. I don't remember the name of the black lady in the movie, but like her like slitting her throat and falling off the house, genuinely disturbing and creepy and weird. All the shit that she had going on was fucking weird. Olivia Wilde was not terrible as an actress, but as a director, I think she had some good ideas, but she's just not a good enough director yet to really make this a good movie, which is fine. It's her second movie. She doesn't have to be fucking Scorsese at this point.
the problem is how big it was publicized.
Yeah.
Pushed.
Yeah. And then like that kind of got balanced out a little bit by everyone, all the critics saying how bad it was. But, it ended up just being an okay movie to me. And I gave it a B. I'd watch it again, to be honest. Like I wasn't bothered by it at all. I really liked Florence Pugh's performance as always. That's, y'all know that's my queen. That's why we do what we do on this podcast. That's exploit Florence Pugh. But yeah, man, it was fine. The twist is not, great or anything, but it didn't break the movie for me personally. And yeah, I kind of come away from this movie being like, what was everyone talking about? Like on both sides of it. People who were super hyped for it, people who were super down on it. It's like just watch the movie and it's fine.
I think this movie is actively bad at points.
Me too.
That's
when
like,
Harry Styles is talking. Yeah.
And it's not even the Harry Styles thing. Like I was just saying, like he's just not in the way for me, and so that was fine. It has been like now I think 2 weeks or a week and a half since we saw this movie, and I completely forgot about it. It's so forgettable. Like I in the lexicon of when we're on our deathbeds and still reviewing movies to hundreds of people on this podcast, and we go back through the lexicon of Florence Pugh movies, we'll be like, what was Don't Worry Darling?
Oh yeah, Harry Styles. She had beef like at the award show or something.
That thing. Yeah, all right. So anyway,
didn't Chris Pine get spit on or something?
Yeah. I think this movie at points is actively stupid. And I don't want to besmirch the filmmakers. I just think that the points they were trying to make fell so flat. And I think they're good points worth making. And like we said on this show, we just did a whole podcast about the Woman King and elevating women into these roles. This movie was just falls flat on what it's actively trying to say about by making Harry Styles an ugly incel person for no absolute. They tried to make him ugly, folks. They tried their hardest. Did y'all
That
notice
has to be a meme.
They gave him like
When-
bad skin and stuff.
He looked incredible. I want them to make Incel Harry into a meme because he looked
They should.
phenomenal. I loved it. I was like, great job. They uglied that man up. Great job. I love that he's an incel. That was the only thing about the twist that I actually liked.
They literally just
They
made
did
him
ugly him
Aaron
up.
Rodgers.
Yeah, they just made him Aaron Rodgers. Basically. They literally just
Like down to listening to the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh man, I what's his face, Jordan Peterson or whoever's watching watching this movie. I don't see what's actually wrong with this movie.
I kind of like
Yeah.
this Harry Styles guy with the beard.
It's making
This
some really great
metaverse sounds great.
I just think the twist and how long it took to get there was also really insane. The whole second act of this movie plots along like you wouldn't even believe. It just keeps repeating itself over and over and over again. They could have shaved, I think, 30 minutes off of this movie. I really think that they could have by making like it's basically how many ways can we show Florence Pugh going crazy for like 35 minutes, and it becomes at points I'm not gaslighting you, you're not, or you're crazy, the movie. And there's only so many ways that you can say that. And yes, there is beautiful gowns. Everyone, the set design, shout out to them. They almost deserve an Oscar. This looked great. Movie sounded great. The cinematography looked great. The costume design was great. But you know your movie for general audiences, which is who I think we kind of review these movies for, is not great when I was like, hey, you know, the costume design was really great in this movie. What?
Costume design was great. I loved some of the song choices they used in the soundtrack. Very 50s.
Florence Pugh is great. What just happened? Okay, sorry. Florence Pugh is great. Obviously, she absolutely carries this movie. Without her, without somebody as talented as her, or maybe like Saoirse Ronan or something, this movie falls so flat. It would be unbelievable.
Yeah, Florence Pugh was just sitting there cracking an egg with nothing in it, and I'm like, this is riveting.
If you put Saoirse Ronan in the lead of this film, it is. I agree with you. It is down a letter grade. Like Florence Pugh is doing that much lifting.
No, I'm saying if you have somebody as talented as Saoirse Ronan, but let's say it's not to like Chloe Grace Moretz or something like that.
No, it doesn't work.
You know,
well, it already doesn't work. But now you're talking about you're in D territory. You put, and I like Chloe, but no, that's not good.
If somebody that isn't as committed and or has the screen presence of Florence Pugh, which obviously she's a beautiful person, but like she's been proven to like just command whatever scene that she's in. She was stealing scenes for like Scarlett Johansson and other great actors in a Marvel movie. So like she just has been known to like demand the screen at points, and so
she was up there with David Harbour, Rachel Weisz, and Scarlett Johansson. Everyone was like, "It's Florence Pugh chick. She's going places."
Yeah. So I think if it wasn't her or somebody of that caliber, it really might have been even rougher.
How much better is this movie with Shia LaBeouf instead of Harry Styles? Allegations.
It is better. It is
a better movie with Shia LaBeouf.
It is a better movie, but is it a different role? So we don't know. So like,
you still have the same issue that the two leads don't have any chemistry if you put Shia LaBeouf there, though.
You don't know that. I don't know that.
Chemistry.
I don't know that.
She was actually scared of him. That literally started this whole thing. Like she was like, that guy's a creep. Yeah.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yes.
Oh,
that's how this all started.
Oh, I thought it was. Okay, so I didn't know that. So yes, that would. I mean, you believe him more as an incel.
Definitely, and he's
got that change.
And he's 9 times the actor of Harry Styles. Not that it's a lot. I mean, Dex could act 9 times better than Harry Styles too. So I'm not even trying to give him a compliment, but like, yeah, I think that does make the movie better. But you still have the chemistry problem for sure.
Like I said, he wasn't actively in the way. The one time that he yes, he is not a good actor. The one time that he was asked to like show emotion when they drag her out of the car or whatever, and he's just like fake screaming like. was like,
Incel
oh,
noises.
no. Yeah, it's just like
When they have him say more than one sentence at a time, it was a bad look. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not going to downgrade this movie just because of his performance. Would it have been an upgrade?
You should.
If somebody, I don't know who, like, I don't know how great of an actor Tom Holland is, but would this would have been
better
great.
hairstyle.
Yeah.
What is that called in baseball? Like the wins
pinch
above
hitter?
average
Value above
replacement?
replacement.
No,
Yeah.
a war. Yeah.
Yeah, the war is out of this world. If you put the average actor there, even if you switch Nick Kroll into the lead into that role, which he was not suited for, you still make a better movie with Nick Kroll replacing Harry Styles. Although it's clear that the director of this movie, who happens to be fucking Harry Styles, thinks that Harry Styles is the most beautiful man in the world. The way that he's being shot, you can tell he's supposed to be some man candy, but I don't know. I just don't find Harry Styles that attractive. He's a good-looking guy, but like he's not Brad Pitt in Fight Club good-looking. Like he doesn't wear a suit like that.
He's well,
A
they
very
were saying,
Gen Z type of attraction.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Maybe that's what it is. This is different.
This is this generation's type of attractive. Timothy
Okay, you're right.
Chalamet.
You're right. I'm too old. I was like, no, give me some man candy there. I don't want to see fucking Harry.
Give me a
Styles.
buff guy, just a
Yeah.
real,
Give me
a
some
real
fucking
bear,
muscle.
says T. Give me some abs on the screen, damn it.
Yeah, it feels like Gen Z is moving to, like, everyone is moving towards the middle of whatever that spectrum is called. Like, I forget what it is.
Right.
But yeah, like, everybody just wants everyone to be kind of in the middle of whatever spectrum that is, and that's how they get down. Which, you know, all respect to them.
Yeah, so I think, and I don't want to project, but it did at times, because we know the background of Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis and so on and so forth. It felt at times like this was a movie made by a person mad at their spouse.
Yes, definitely.
And I text y'all that, and I was like, this feels like a movie where a breakup was going on by the person who was making it, and thus is the content of the movie. But it also felt that way when you were watching it. You're like, oh, this person doesn't like who they're with.
Literally, there's a line in this film, the only line I remember, where Florence Pugh screams, "But I like my job. I like working." And that's when I was like, yo, this just is awful. Like, okay, this dude is mad because he's not fucking making him tuna fish sandwiches at midnight because she's fucking working and saving lives. He's like, oh, but what about my dinner? I'm eating cat food now. So she's like, I liked my job. And I was like, God, that really feels like the director is going through a breakup, who happens to be going through a breakup, and was mad because she was too busy and her boyfriend wanted a more traditional woman at home. And that's why
dude
this
has
movie
been
was made.
that woman has been saving lives. She has been knuckle deep in like heart and chest trying to save people's lives. And then she comes home and he won't have sex with her boyfriend that's been sitting in piss and shit and sweaty balls and shit all day. And
Fucking watching Jordan Peterson videos.
She won't have sex with me. You stink.
She's been doing literal surgery, and I guarantee he smells worse than her when she gets home. He actually smells worse. She's been literally cutting people open, and he probably smells much worse than she does. Like, no, she doesn't want to fuck you, bro.
Bum.
Get a fucking job and turn that podcast off.
Why won't my wife have sex with me? Because you smell like ass. Wash your butt. Like, that's what you
Wash your butt.
Holy shit. You've been sitting in Nike sweatpants watching.
Listening to
Nah,
Alex
bro,
Jones
they
podcast.
ain't Nike, dog. That man is
Bro,
not
they
in no
ain't-
Nike.
Champion. Starter.
He only gets Nike for Christmas, but she buys us. He is not buying no Nike.
Also, do doctors not make good salaries? Like, why are they living in that hellhole?
I thought the same thing. Their house did not look particularly nice. Their apartment looked like shit.
Yeah.
She's a surgeon.
I don't know.
Babe, I swear to God, this cryptocurrency thing is going.
It's the future, babe.
That's the scene they cut. He invested all their money in crypto, and they went broke, and they had to move into a shitty apartment.
Why won't she fuck me? Because Dogecoin went under, you piece of shit.
You know why they put him in that apartment? It's because he's got to keep leaving the Matrix to go pay for stuff. So if he was already wealthy, he wouldn't ever have to leave the Matrix, and so he's got to go to work. Like the other dudes, they literally were just like, "Oh, just put him in a shitty apartment," without explaining the fact that he's dating a literal surgeon who would not be broke and would not be living in this shitty apartment with this guy. It doesn't make sense.
There's so many little things
rushes.
that you're like, ugh, if this was a better director, this would be so cool. Like
sorry,
Olivia Wilde's character choosing to live in the Matrix for forever because she can still have her kids.
Not explained.
That would be a really
Not
cool
explained at all.
concept.
Just
Really
dropped
cool
it and
concept
then
with a
kept moving
better
on with the
director.
movie.
This would be a better if it was a TV series and you could expand on some of these ideas where it was like you could have a vignette of Olivia Wilde's character. You could have a vignette of like Chris Pine and dig into their backgrounds a little bit. Then this world starts to build a little bit more. I'm fine with movies just being movies. Like not everything is now a TV show. Like I'm fine with that. But there's no world. It's all surface level here. It's all surface level. And like it is explained away in the Harry Styles thing. We keep harping on this scene, but it is literally one scene. She comes home from surgery. She won't have sex with him after like performing surgery all day. Which duh. Like I just maybe somebody died. I don't want to have sex with your smelly dick. No thanks.
He
Like-
literally says, "Where you been? I thought you were coming home at 10." She's like, "I got off late. I was in surgery, and also I can't have my phone in the OR." And he was like, "Okay, are we fucking tonight or not?" And she was like, "No." That was the scene. I was like, "Oh, okay.
And
That's
that
how he decided to
explains-
enslave her."
Yeah. That explains why he makes her like live in this hellhole for, it's explained away so casually. I haven't given a grade. I give this a C-. I'm close to a D. I do not like this movie at all. And we got out of it and and I wish I could. I wish I could like things just for what they are, but I can't with this. It just is not good. It isn't good. It is saved by how it looks and how people look on the screen and how good of an actress Florence Pugh is. That's it. Oh, and Chris Pine had fun. Like, okay, sure.
He had a great time.
Yeah, Chris Pine was dope in this movie to me. I'm not gonna lie. I love this character, to be honest. Like they didn't
expand on him at all.
Yeah, I wanted more of it, which like is kind of a good thing for their villain. Like that, I want to see more of them.
And he doesn't even have a final confrontation with the main character, which doesn't make any sense.
Like stabs it, which was so strange.
Why was Gemma Chan even in this movie? Not even shitting on her performance. I'm just talking about the character. It made no sense. Like she had no role to play in this movie. Actually, like it could have just been Chris Pine, who was unmarried or had 19 different wives as opposed to one. Like we literally didn't need to have that character. The only thing that Gemma Chan got to do was she got to give Florence Pugh some bars at dinner, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that from Gemma Chan right there. That's a good scene." And then that was it. Then she stabbed Chris Pine, and then that was the end of their moments together. But I will say, I realized something about myself watching this movie. I did not realize. I always loved Florence Pugh because she's phenomenal. She's an incredible actress. She is doing everything that you love about her in this movie. But I realized in this movie that I think that I find her attractive, which is not something I thought before. She's not my type. Like, that's not my type. But I thought she just looked gorgeous, like, in these scenes against these beautiful backdrops. I just thought, like, I was like, wow, she's not only is she crushing it, but she looks gorgeous. And I had not ever seen her in a movie and thought that. I had never thought that before. So this is a very good-looking movie, and I have to give them props for that. And, Florence Pugh is doing all she can to keep them in the game, but they're still down 35 going into the fourth quarter, but she had a great game. I can't hate on her for that.
It's like the Rockets when all of a sudden it's like, oh man, Eric Gordon has like 35 points and the Rockets pull within 25. You're just like,
I was
what?
thinking about that, like that last
did that
LeBron
happen?
game in Cleveland the first time, where it was like, yeah, he's leaving these bums. There's no way.
You can just see, like, no, he's not staying there. He's just gone.
He's not staying, bro. Like when they lost to Boston or whatever that was, like back in the day, like the first time he left Cleveland, I was like, yeah, he ain't coming back here. Like, nah.
When an elite starting pitcher gets no run support, it's tough to watch.
Fucking Noah Syndergaard out here should be the Cy Young winner. Can't get any wins.
I think the degree of difficulty between making a movie like Booksmart and making a movie like Don't Worry, Darling should be considered. It's not like she just has no chops. I don't think that Olivia Wilde has no chops. I just think that the kind of movie that she made in her first film was a much more easy, much more accessible thing to make. Not saying that it's not good. It's actually really good. I enjoy the movie. But this is not easy to make.
5 years, probably.
Yeah, it's great. I would go back and watch. I haven't went back and rewatched it, but I would definitely go back and rewatch it. I had a great time with it. But this is like, there are people who have been making sci-fi their entire careers that are trying to make movies like she tried to make as a one-off than the first time she's trying to make this kind of genre. And it takes a lot more than just having a vision to make these kind of movies. And I think that she got the look of it right, but I don't think that she got anything else right other than the main character being cast as the right person. I don't think
and
she
that
got
Shyamalan
anything
been
else
trying
right.
to do this for 20 years, and he can't
Exactly. And
can't
so
get
it's
it
like,
back.
you can't just walk into a sci-fi twist movie and just think that you're going to just do it, because you can't just have a twist for the sake of having a twist. That twist has to give a shock and awe. And literally, people were audibly groaning when the twist happened, like all over my theater.
Eye roll.
It was not pretty.
Eye roll.
People were like, "Oh, like it was." You should never want that response. That's the response that you don't want when you reveal your twist. That's just it's just not good. It's just not a good way to devise a film around a twist. If that's the twist, then just don't make it a twist movie. Just tell us from the beginning and let us watch the story. But they've made a lot of mistakes, man.
Honestly, I think this movie is like better received. They just like drop it on stream, you know, like
Oh, absolutely.
I
I think
agree.
this was on
People-
Hulu
I agree.
tonight. Yeah.
yeah,
I agree.
people would have been like, "Oh, that was dope. That was cool. Florence Pugh was great," you know, like, and that would have been it. Like if they had just dropped this movie straight to streaming, but you know, it is
HBO
what it
Max,
is.
but yeah.
Yeah,
Man, I wanted to put Florence Pugh into everything. She is just such a joy to watch on screen, man.
she's her.
She's really her, bro. I know we say that a lot on this podcast, but y'all, if you're gonna watch this movie, just revel in the fact that she is giving you bars, she's giving you everything, and she's making a lot out of a little, because they don't give her a lot to work around her with, and she's got to make Harry Styles somehow look like an actor, which looks like the most impossible thing in the world.
All life, Alice. All life. We could lose this.
What was up with his British accent? It was literally going in and out, and I was just like,
Which, like,
I
his
know-
American accent wasn't terrible when they like had him speak outside
True.
of the Matrix.
But it's like, dude, you're British. Like, why do you sound so
Yes.
bad? Like, you are a British person. Like,
I
just,
happen
I said it's almost like he was so focused on doing the American accent that he
He
forgot
didn't
what he
work on the
sounded
British.
like. Wait, what do I
Like,
sound
bro.
like? What did-
they
I happen-
literally were like, "We're gonna make you British in the Matrix. You can just talk British the whole fucking time," and he like couldn't
and he
do
fumbled that.
it.
I happen to
Kind
be
of like how
watching this
Johnny
movie.
Depp sounds British now. Like, bro, you're from like New York.
It's
I was-
finding out Rami Malek is from California. You're like, dude, why do you talk like that? Like, what are you doing?
I watched this movie with a British person. About 20 minutes into the movie, she leaned over to me and she said, "What do you think of his British accent?" I said, "Isn't he British?" And she goes, "Yes, exactly. That's why I'm confused. His British accent sounds horrible."
The one redeeming scene I feel like in this movie, and it really did highlight Florence Pugh more than anything, but I think Chris Pine was like, he's too handsome to be as menacing as they were trying to be, which I think was kind of what the idea was.
Nah, bro, I bought it. I bought it the whole time. Maybe it's because maybe that's like a cultural difference. Like, I don't trust handsome white men. I feel like they all have to be shady. Like, you know
That's
what I'm
fair.
saying? Yeah.
To me, the most shady white men look like Mark Zuckerberg.
In real life, he
Yeah,
doesn't
that
look
too.
like real life. He's not beautiful, so I thought it made sense because everybody looks more beautiful in this thing. Even though Nick Kroll, like I feel like Nick Kroll should look like that on the outside, but what does he look like in the Matrix? I just thought that was weird. I thought everybody was beautiful in the Matrix, and then Nick Kroll is just like regular looking. It's like, oh, okay, like maybe he
But
didn't
yeah,
pay enough
for
for the
me, it's
handsome
like-
upgrade.
You see a dude who looks like Chris Pine or Army Hammer or any of those like traditionally handsome white guys, you're like, oh, can't be trusted. He also fuck shit. Like, gotta be. You know what I'm saying? So he was definitely menacing to me.
To me, those dudes are Mark Zuckerberg and company.
That's a good
All
point.
of
Mark Zuckerberg is not handsome, and he's the worst human of all time.
But the best scene to me was at the dinner table when she's going through all of their backstories and stuff.
Loved it.
That was the best scene when that tit for tat of them, and she's like, you can tell that she's onto it, but it feels like she's slowly breaking too because they're all like gaslighting her, which is just what this movie is. But yeah, so I thought that was, if we're pointing out like one scene in particular that was really good, it was that. Also, Harry Styles' dance is really weird for a pop star. Like you would
That's
think
weird.
that
He should be able to do that, right?
yeah. Him
Yeah,
dancing around.
was
I don't
weird.
know what the joy, like there was something around the like sort of dance, thing that he was like controlling him like a puppet or something.
Is that how you read that scene? Because I read it the same way,
That's
but I don't.
more of
that's
how
not what
my
was
wife
actually
read it,
happening.
actually. Yeah.
I read it. I was like, no, he's being controlled. He's like not in control. But then he wasn't being controlled. So then
He
I
said
was like, why
something.
was he
I think
dancing
he
like
said.
that?
I think he said dance monkey in the thing. So I don't
Yeah, he
know.
does. I was like, okay, he's being controlled. But then when the twist happens, you're like, so Harry Styles is just dancing like that on his own? I was a little confused about that. I thought he was being
Maybe
controlled
it's
for
not
sure.
like a control thing exactly, but it's like, you know, it's still like a like a video game, like a VR situation, you know, like you're still like being rendered kind of weird, I guess. Like I don't know, like it's,
I think it was just that Harry Styles doesn't know how to dance.
but he does
what-
though. Like we've seen him do it.
Well, I haven't seen him do it, but I would assume he dances better than that if he's a pop star. But a lot of these pop stars don't dance. It's a different time. So maybe.
But
he
yeah,
doesn't.
that whole scene, like, I mean, I guess it kind of just depends on how you want to look at it. Like, it could be good foreshadowing, or it could be giving away the twist. But it was like, oh yeah, this is obviously some intel shit. When they're like, yelling like, "Whose world is this?" It's like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
this is definitely some
We know-
Tiki Tor
We
shit.
know chance some shit like this.
Yeah, this is some Tiki Tor shit right here. Like, I can see where this is going. Like, so yeah, it just kind of depends on how you want to look at it. Like, if it's just good foreshadowing, or if it's like just giving away your twist. But yeah, that was odd.
I just can't get over the fact that Ben Shapiro is going to watch this and be like, I thought they had some really good ideas.
Ben Shapiro's never watching this movie. Way too many women on screen for Ben
It's
Shapiro.
so
to watch this
Weird.
movie.
Who? None of the incels.
Ben
or the
Shapiro
people-
watches the cunnilingus scene. He's like, what's that? My wife has never asked me to do that.
Now my wife wants me to do that. Olivia Wilde, you owe me an apology.
Oh, my God. Anyway, I don't have any more on this film.
Me neither.
It'll
We
come to
don't need say any more
HBO.
about this.
We've talked about it for 45 minutes, but like it'll come to HBO Max. It's okay. Sure. I'm more interested in Florence Pugh's next projects, to be
We are
completely
supporting Florence Pugh on this podcast. We did our duty. We all went to go see the movie, and she is still her. No notes for
And
no notes for
Quite
Florence.
frankly, I'm more interested in whatever Olivia Wilde does next. I'm done talking. I'm so done with whatever controversy this fucking shit. Like
Yeah, I agree.
I'm over it. I was over it before the movie even came out, to be completely honest with you.
And she's definitely gonna make something else because she's making the
It
money.
made
back,
money.
but that's
It
all that
made
matters.
money, and that's
Yeah.
fine. Like
Yep.
if this would have been a flop on top of the bad reviews, she
Yeah.
may have been done in these streets. But
Oh yeah, she would have been cooked forever. Like if this was,
She would have been cooked.
didn't
but
make
she's
any
not gonna
money
be cooked.
also, but
She's back.
yeah, she's
yeah, so I'm more
she
interested.
got
to
at
see
least
what
one more in her.
I got one more in me. Oh my god! All right, so we're gonna draft, which we haven't done in a long time, but I'm actually really excited about this one. Dex wrote an article 5-6 months ago now about top actors under 30, actresses under 30. I don't know how many did you did. 10? Did you do 10?
Yeah, I gave a top 10, but I gave a bunch of honorable mentions that I didn't count. So yeah, there's a lot.
So
No,
we're
let's-
gonna do a draft. Our top 5. Because we were gonna have too much overlap, I feel like, on a list of ours. So let's do a draft. Let's go
Oh, these lists are nasty.
Dex,
These are
Royden,
nasty.
Teej.
God damn it.
Dex,
I am
Royden,
bad.
Teej.
I appreciate you giving me the first pick because you know
I knew. I mean,
Florence
look,
Pugh,
Oh,
like, it
God
is what it is. I've never seen an actress before, at least not one this young, where just every single movie that she's in, you come away from it being like, yeah, she's her. Like every time. Like I've never
Mhm.
seen a performance from her where I've just been like, that was fine. Like, she was okay, whatever. It's like, no, every single time. It's like, yeah, she's got it. Like Midsummer, fucking even Don't Worry, Darling, Fighting with My Family, like a fucking WWE movie where she's like pretending to be a wrestler. It's like, yeah, she's her. She's got it. So yeah, y'all know what it is. That's the young goat, Florence Pugh. Multiple Oscars coming soon.
That would have been my pick as well.
I'm gonna go with her co-star. Some would say the next Meryl Streep, if not already. Multiple
Harry
Oscar nominations.
Styles.
4-time Oscar nominee, the young goat, truly, Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah.
She has been nominated 4 times already for Little Women, Lady Bird, Brooklyn, and Atonement.
All right.
She
It's
reeled
not-
off.
it's
She
not for
reeled off
honesty.
a LeBron type run, 16, 18, and 20 for Best Actress. That's insane.
She was also really good
Guys.
in that new one, See How They Run, even though that movie is like just like decent.
Do not tell me that Saoirse Ronan is
Guys.
bad. I will not hear it. Shut up.
I'm not saying that she's bad, but she is not. She does not belong at this place. I know she has all these awards. First of all, Lady Bird is awful, and Little Women was not great, and also she doesn't have the best performance in Little Women. I don't really understand the hype. I'm not saying that she's bad. I would not say that. I think that she's good. I do not think that she is on the Florence Pugh level. Well, I don't think any of those young actresses are on the Florence Pugh level. Not even my queen Zendaya, who is going to be my pick. I don't think that she's on the Florence Pugh level either, but I definitely would take Zendaya over Saoirse Ronan because
that is insane
Saoirse-
to me. No disrespect.
Saoirse Ronan could not do what I seen Zendaya do when she's supposed to be high on crack.
Skip.
Saoirse Ronan could not do that.
Skip, the stats
job.
would disagree and back me up, Skip.
Skip.
The stats are in my favor in this one.
So I'm gonna take Zendaya there, and next I'm going to take. Oh God, there's all these white people.
It's under 30, bro. There's a few black people in there, and Asian and otherwise that you can grab.
How old is Daniel Kaluuya?
Over
Too old,
30,
like
I want to say.
35.
All my favorite actors and actresses are over 35. Maybe that says something about me and not these young kids. There's all these people that are kind of like, okay, fuck it. I'll take
He's
Anya
33, by
Taylor-Joy.
the
I
way.
like her. I like Anya Taylor-Joy a lot. I think
Damn,
that she's
good
cool.
pick.
I do like her and stuff. She made me buy a chessboard. Big facts. She literally made me purchase a chessboard. I have not actually used it to play any chess, but she's also in The Witch, which is great. And I like Anya Taylor-Joy. Whenever she shows up on screen, I like her and stuff. So I'll take her.
Really good in Amsterdam, by the way.
I can't wait to see that. I can't wait. I need to ignore the fact that one of my
you can
options
wait.
in it.
You can wait for sure. But
Is
she's
it not
really
good?
good. in it.
It's fine, right?
It's cool. But it ain't
I knew it couldn't be great because I had my ops in there, and I knew when I see my ops on screen, it's probably not going to be the greatest movie.
I'm
And
gonna.
apparently there's an op behind the camera, allegedly, or something. I don't know.
Oh, shit.
I don't know that whole
There's some
situation.
controversies.
Apparently, I haven't really looked into it, but every time I tweet
shit.
about it, people tell me like David O. Russell
What?
is the ops.
David O. Russell is
Oh
historically
yeah,
a
he's
bad
definitely the
guy.
ops.
Historically has been, if not like there's some legal stuff that I think that may be weird with him, but like on set he's historically like a menace. So that's not even allegedly, like there's video of it, of him arguing and being combative with his co-star, with his movie stars, which is crazy that Christian Bale has now been in like 8 of his movies. May say
Yeah,
something.
and Christian Bale and Rami Malek and Margot Robbie and somebody else. Yeah, it was just those 3. They were like on stage doing like a Q&A and stuff with him, which was weird to find out that he's apparently the ops after that. But anyway, we keep moving.
Fun fact. Fun
Go
fact.
ahead.
What's his face? George Clooney punched him in the face.
Oh, dope.
If Clooney punched him in the face, he definitely deserved it. But in his defense, if I was directing Rami Malek, I'd probably not be the best version of myself either, because that guy's
He hasn't been the best version of himself since like
since, like, the
1998.
beginning.
So I think the Royal Tenenbaums was the movie I'm talking about. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get him off the board just because I know I might not get him in the turn. Tom
Don't do
Holland,
this. Oh,
You wouldn't have
Box
got him in the
office.
turn.
box
you,
office,
you scared me, but that's great. That's a
Box
great pick. You scared me.
office goat. I don't know how good of an actor he is, but he has been in like $5 billion projects. So
He's better than Chalamet, and Chalamet's still on the
for
board.
sure.
So I'll take
Yeah.
that.
Chalamet is going to stay on the board for at least all of my turns. He's not him.
I don't get the
Not
Chalamet
him at
thing.
all.
I may have to pick him just for
Just to say you did it.
Sure, but I don't. Yeah, I agree, but I don't get it. There's something I just don't get about it. I just don't get it.
It's not there for like he's not bad. He's just not like what he was supposed to be to me.
So you get 2.
So Are we saying under 30 specifically, or can we do 30 and under? Because I got one who's 30.
30 and under. Let's
No,
do
you can do
30.
30. You can do 30.
All right, then yeah. So I'm gonna take John Boyega because
Yeah, good pick.
he's 30 now.
John
Just
Boyega
turned-
is not over 30. I did
just
not know
turned
that.
30 this year. Back in March, apparently.
He
But
was
yeah,
like
he's
he was like 18 and Attack the Block. He was young.
Wow.
he's really fucking good, dude. I saw everyone saw the Star Wars movies, and he was the best part of those until they said you can't be in our movies anymore because you're black. But he was really good in The Woman King. I saw that movie Breaking that he just did, Michael K. Williams' last film, and he was really good in that too. He like has to basically carry that movie on his
That is
back.
best John Q impression.
I haven't seen John Q in a long ass time, but from what I remember, probably. Yeah. But he was really good at it. You know, he played like a veteran who like robbed a bank because the VA fucked him over and all this other shit. And he played that really well. That can get kind of corny after a little while, I feel like, but he made it work. Like, and yeah, he showed me a little more range than I thought he had just off of seeing him in Star Wars and other like big projects and stuff like that. So I'm gonna take John Boyega.
Best thing about John Boyega is he's gone up and like basically called the mouse or people who have worked for the mouse racist, and everybody was like, "Thank God you said it." Holy shit!
Everyone was like, "Yeah, you're right." So this one, she came out the gate hot, fell off a little bit, but now she's back, and I'm gonna take her here. I'm gonna take Haley Steinfeld. She came out the gate at like 11 years old or something like that in True Grit, or like she might have been younger than that.
I think she was, I don't know, like 13 and got nominated for an Oscar because that's one of the youngest people to ever get nominated for an Oscar or something.
Yeah, something like that. She was young as hell in True Grit, and everyone was like, "Oh, this kid's got fucking next." And then she did a lot of mostly nothing. But now she's back. She's dropping music with Anderson .Paak and shit.
She's dropping music. She's in the MCU. Things are looking up for her.
The MCU. She was the best part of a Transformers movie, and made it good, which is a very hard thing to do. There's only been like 3 other people in the history who've ever done that. So, so yeah, I got Haley Steinfeld. I'm excited to see whatever she does, next in the MCU and outside of the MCU. I think she's still coming up. She's still going places.
It's a very good pick. Also has the Oscar nomination to boot. She was like, go back and watch that True Grit movie. I really, really love that movie. She's going toe to toe with Jeff fucking Bridges in that movie. Like, and
as
Matt
a child,
yeah,
as a kid.
It's insane. Directed by the
brothers. What's their name?
Oh my god.
The Coen brothers?
The Coen brothers.
Them.
That's such a brain fart. I do that all the time. But yeah, directed by the
brothers.
Coen brothers. Those guys. Let's see. I'm taking this based off of it's like a guy. This guy's like a guy that
Wait, are you getting 2? You don't get 2?
I get 1.
Yeah, I took Haley Steinfeld, not him.
Oh, got it.
I'm taking this guy. This guy is like when a bench player gets a big contract in the NBA because he all of a sudden was scoring 15 points a game and he did that consistently for a few years, and then somebody takes a gamble on him and he turns into an all-star, kind of the James Harden effect. I'm taking Barry Keoghan.
Oh, I like that.
Taking Barry Keoghan or Keegan. How do you pronounce his name?
I think
it's Keoghan.
Yeah. So The Killing of the Sacred Deer.
Phenomenal cinema right there. Phenomenal cinema.
Dunkirk. The Green Knight, which I'll hate, but it's there.
That movie stinks.
Eternals, which stinks.
He was good in Eternals, though. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
he gets all these incredible projects, but he's going to be now in the Banshees of Inisherin, and he is the Joker. Which is
apparently the hotness. Like, apparently that shit is the bomb. I can't wait to see it.
So
he belongs in the Joker. Just looking at him, he belongs in the Joker.
He's an interesting looking cat, but he's a good actor.
He belongs in it. And isn't he the worst fucking person in the world, or whatever that show was called? He was the lead of that show. It was pretty good on Netflix. I remember that. He's
So
good.
yeah,
I like him.
he was in Love Hate on Netflix, but yeah. So yeah, I'm taking a speculation pick on Barry Keoghan.
I got it wrong. It's The End of the Fucking World. That's what that show was called.
That wasn't him.
Wait, that's not him?
No.
Oh, I'm getting confused with somebody else then. Okay, never mind. Forget I said that. All right. I got 2 picks. Here I'm taking Queen. She just stole my heart this year on screen. I'm taking Keke Palmer. I've always loved Keke Palmer, but I now think that she has real movie star potential after seeing her in Hustlers and seeing her in Nope. I just think that she's
so
a movie
good at
star.
Hustlers.
And I just can't wait to see more of her on screen. She's just phenomenal. Every time I see her on screen, it's a treat. I'm definitely taking Keke Palmer, and I haven't even seen her newest movie where she's like what is that? She's like she goes back in the past to slavery or some shit like that. I forgot what that movie was called, but I haven't seen it. And I'm also taking
Antebellum?
Yes. No.
No,
It's
that's
a
Janelle
different one.
Monáe.
Yeah, I forgot what the movie was called, but I still haven't seen it. And then I'm also taking her as a value pick right now. I'm taking Sydney Sweeney, bro. I think Sydney Sweeney has got some stuff going for her.
Bonk.
It's not just because she's good looking. I think that she does interesting work on screen, and I'm gonna ignore the fact that apparently her parents were wearing Blue Lives Matter merch. I'm gonna just ignore that altogether and say I'm betting on her career going forward. I really love her in Euphoria. I thought she did a really good job in The Handmaid's Tale, and I just like her. I just like seeing her show up and stuff, and I'm always interested to watch her more. So I'm gonna take Sydney Sweeney here.
She just keeps being around like Emmy projects and shit. Like, didn't The White Lotus just win every fucking
Yes.
Emmy? Also,
And The White Lotus is great.
Won literally all. She was nominated for 2 Emmys for 2 HBO shows.
That shit, The White Lotus is really, really, really good, bro. I'm very excited for season 2. It's great.
I hadn't touched that once.
It's an
I
easy
haven't
watch.
seen it either.
You'll
I'm gonna
love
get to it. I'm gonna get
It's
to
phenomenal.
it eventually, but
It's
I just
really
haven't
good.
had time yet. But yeah, she's like just constantly in good shit, which it's a good sign.
Let's see.
Got that Margot Robbie energy.
Yeah. So wait, that you got 2 picks? That was
Yeah,
your-
I took 2.
Okay. I got a couple directions I can go here. This is tough. But I got to take. This is another speculation pick, but she's also gotten rave reviews and everything that she's been in. Thomasin McKenzie.
Yeah.
So, Jojo Rabbit, Leave No Trace, Last Night in Soho. She was also like in a throwaway role in like Power the Dog for
A movie that stinks, but she wasn't bad.
That
Yeah,
film
I mean,
stinks.
But she continues to get really great projects and people continue to love her and stuff. So she's going to be in a lot of great shit. And she is only 22. So a lot more to come from Thomasin McKenzie. If you haven't seen Leave No Trace, a movie that I don't think a lot of people did, Ben Foster, most underrated actor in all of cinema, go watch it. I think it's on Netflix right now. Leave No Trace is one of the better movies that no one has seen in the last like 5 years. So go check it out.
Okay, so very important. Are we doing 4 or are we doing 5? I think you said 5.
Oh, I did say 5. Oh, good. Yeah, let's keep going. So we got one more round.
Cool, because
We normally do 4, but let's do 5.
I was between 2 picks, and I was like, it'd be blasphemous for us to go through this entire list and me not pick one of these people, but I also like have an agenda to push for the other one, so I could do both now. So just because she hasn't been mentioned yet, and I got to take her off the board, I'm taking Jodie Comer.
Oh, damn.
Oh, man, I love her, man.
She's
phenomenal.
so fucking good, dude.
I love her, man.
She almost was enough to make me finish watching Killing Eve, but that show got too fucking bad.
Yeah,
for me to keep up
It
with
got very bad, but there was about a season and a half where she was making me watch, and then I was like, all right, this sticks, but she's great.
She's been in so much stuff, and you ever like think about like you don't think that you're old, and then all of a sudden you look and she's like, oh, 93. Holy shit, she's only a year older than me.
Yeah.
She's been in all this stuff.
I don't think she's old at all, but she's much younger than me.
What is she, 29 now?
Yes,
yeah.
Great pick.
She was good in, more serious shit like Killing Eve. I mean, Killing Eve got very unserious by the end. But
Like Free Guy.
Yeah, she was good in Free Guy. She was good in The Last Duel, a movie that I still cape for.
A movie that is
but yeah,
good. A movie that is #good.
Yeah, shout out to The Last Duel, and shout out to Jodie Comer. And my other pick. Every time we have this conversation, I have to bring her up because I think this kid is going places. Give me Julia Butters. She was a little girl in Once Upon a
Good
Time in
pick.
Hollywood. She was in a sitcom a couple years ago. She was the best character, and then she left the sitcom. But whatever, she was somehow good in The Gray Man. She was like the only person who was likable in that movie.
They gave that poor girl nothing to do in that. I mean, it was so boring.
I think she's like 13 or 14 years old now, and she's it. She's got it. If you don't follow her on Instagram,
coming.
follow her now because she is adorable and like precious and a great actress. So Julia Butters.
Fabelmans coming up.
Oh yeah, she
Yes,
is. On the
sir.
Fabelmans.
So my next pick, I'm going to continue the British wave that I'm on. Daisy Edgar Jones. Now I know that y'all haven't seen anything that she's in, but if you haven't, I keep telling you, go.
I saw Where the
go-
Crawdads Sang.
Oh yeah, that movie. That ugh. All right. A completely fine movie. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I just need her to pick good projects. Is where I'm at too, because like I understand why you take the Where the Crawdads Sing movie. Should have been a financial success. I'm not quite sure that it was.
No, it was. It made like $100 million or whatever.
No, it did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's why you take the movie. But Normal People is one of the best like series that I've watched in a long time, and her and another person that y'all won't say named Paul Mescal, who is going to be in some upcoming movies that are really, really good.
What a
apparently,
name.
yeah, I know. They're phenomenal together. But oh wow, that movie did make $100 million. It made $131 million.
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
Dude,
Okay,
that book was
Ideas
stupid
the
popular.
way.
And it had a
Ideas the
Taylor
way.
Swift soundtrack. Like that was gonna make money.
well, I thought it hadn't performed as well. Neither here is there. I just thought it like hadn't performed good on its opening weekend. But I guess
Isn't Taylor Swift in Amsterdam or something? Isn't she acting in something soon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in Amsterdam.
Ugh. 2 of my eyes are on that movie.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Ugh.
So yeah, I'm gonna take Daisy Edgar Jones. I think the future is incredibly bright for her.
All right, I'm gonna end out the draft here. I'm taking Ashton Sanders. He's already been in a Oscar-winning best film. He was in Moonlight. He's 1/3 of the main character. He's also in what do you call that? Equalizer 2. He's also in the Wu-Tang Show, which is actually phenomenal on Hulu. It's a really great show. I've been keeping up with it. And he was in Judas and the Black Messiah, and I just think that he's great. There's something that he's doing, and every time I see him on screen, I just find him pretty interesting. The first time I saw him was in Moonlight, and that everybody knows how amazing and beautiful that movie
Holy
was.
shit, he's
I'm
playing
just
Bobby Brown.
taken by him.
I
Yeah,
was
he'll
just
play
about
Bobby
to say
Brown
this
soon.
kid is already
he's
played
talented.
RZA and Bobby Brown.
He's very
26 years
talented.
old.
He does a great job playing the RZA, and the Wu-Tang Show is about 9 times better than it has any right to be. It should not be good. They're trying shit, and sometimes you're like, why are we doing this? But it is better than it has any right to be. And a lot of it is because he is the main character, and he's just doing a phenomenal job. And I'm kind of interested in him. Every time I see him, I look closer and closer, and I'm very interested to see him play Bobby Brown. Partially because Bobby Brown is the craziest and coolest person to ever exist, and so playing a person like that can't be easy. Very excited for that. Ashton Sanders, he's going places.
Young
That's a
Chadwick
dope
playing
pick.
every historical figure.
Yep, he's on the Chadwick treadmill.
All right, so those are going to be our list. I don't know if anybody wrote that. It doesn't matter. But
I did.
yeah, all right. So Dex wrote those down. Hopefully, we'll tweet those out. But we always talk about like the death of movies on these podcasts, and other podcasts talk about that. There's some movie stars I feel like out here though.
They're coming.
Some legitimate.
Tuso, I don't know how to say her last name. Tuso Medu, I'm telling y'all, she is going
Medu.
to be a movie star. Yes,
Yeah.
I cannot stop thinking about her performance in The Woman King. It's stuck with me for a month now. I cannot stop thinking about how amazing she was. I thought that she was a kid. She happens to be 31. That won't stop my agenda, though. I'm going to keep watching this woman. I'm going to keep track of this woman. And I'm telling you, she's going places. But she's 31, so I couldn't pick her on this list.
Can we pick
And
Tom
then
Cruise for this because he still looks like
Of
he's
course.
30?
You can pick Tom Cruise for any list we've ever done on any podcast ever. That's a rule for the One Take podcast. You can always pick Tom Cruise somehow.
Tom
But,
Cruise,
you've
because
got
his
your
Eternal Soul was sold.
Quanjane Wallace's, your Marseille Martins,
Marseille
the
Martin
Fannings.
is making money out here, too, by the way. Marseille Martin is
She's
in everything.
everywhere, and doesn't she write and direct at this
She
point,
writes,
you know?
and she's like the star of movies now. Like, she's literally getting her own films. We got to watch out for Marseille Martin. She's out there making bank, bro.
We'd be
Shout out
remiss
to
if-
Caitlin Deaver.
Yeah. Oh, she's probably actually one of the better actresses out of all of these people too. But we would be remiss to say that, like, even though she has weird things about vaccines, Letitia Wright is literally just going to be the Black Panther here in like 2.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Few
that's a
months.
good bet. That's a good bet to put on your team, but I'm still kind of nervous about her.
Oh,
But
she's
yeah,
under
she's
30.
great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she's under 30.
I had assumed she was the same age as the other girl we were talking about. What's her name?
Tuso
Maydu?
Maydu?
Yeah.
Or Lashana Lynch is 34. I was looking at her too. She looks super young, and I need Lashana Lynch to ruin my life.
Another one that I would have picked too, Will Poulter, who is on the weight regimen from Marvel right now, and he looks insane.
Weight regiment.
Him going from We Are the Millers to Marvel products is incredible. So Will Poulter, I would also put on there.
Do you guys know what we're gonna do next? Because at some point we're gonna have to talk about how bad Blonde is, but I don't know if I want to do a full episode on that movie because I don't want to finish.
I
it.
think you can talk
I also-
about it now because I'm not going to watch
guys,
it.
You know how much we all love Anna de Armas, and not just because we are men who have eyes.
Yeah, top 5
We
dead or alive.
generally like her, but my God, Blonde is an absolute mess. I made it through about 30 minutes of this movie, and I was out. I was out all the way out. And mind you, this movie where Anna de Armas is having sex a lot in this movie, and I still was out. This movie is a mess, an absolute mess. People are upset about it. Netflix, bro, what are you doing? What's going on over there? Just talk to us on this podcast. We got ideas that are better than Blonde. I guarantee you that we can come up with a better
A
movie.
million of them, dude.
I promise you. I promise you, bro. That shit stinks. They're just doing everything. There's no narrative of Blonde. They're just throwing shit on the screen. It's fake artsy. They shit on that woman's memory. I don't even know anything about Marilyn Monroe, but I know she would be turning over in her grave if she could watch that film because that shit stinks. But Anna de Armas is incredible looking, and I love you. That's it.
Was it everything that we thought it would be? Meaning that it's Andrew Dominik's weird fantasies put on screen.
Yes, and it is. You can
Yeah,
tell a
but
man is
like-
directing the movie, and it is not a good choice.
I didn't even get to any of that, honestly. Like, I got like halfway through. I got to literally the halfway point of the movie, and I was like, okay, I'm good. Like, it's fake artsy, like Teed says. You can tell that this was made by a director who was like, I'm cooking right now. Like, I'm in my bag.
Clear out.
I'm fucking cooking. It just switches between black and white and color, like at random. Like, I
And
knew
there's
that
no
going.
negative reason for it. It's not. At
That's
first,
what
I was like,
thinking. Like,
"Why are we in black and white right now?" And it was like, "Oh, actually, they're just doing it. They're just."
There's no reason at all. I was expecting it to be like, like Belfast. Like, there are parts of it that are in color, but it's like,
Mhm.
it has a point to it, whether you think that's like a good point or not. This one, there's no point. It just switches between black and white and color just all the time throughout the fucking movie.
You know when Dylan Brooks comes into the game and looks off John
We've been
Morant
on
and he
this
just
for,
starts
like-
shooting everything? That's what I felt like. This director was just like, "I'm in my fucking bag. Fuck y'all. I don't care that y'all don't understand it. I'm putting this shit on the screen. This shit is fire." And it just does not work, bro. It
This
just
movie
doesn't
is challenging. It is art. It's not fucking, it's not for you little baby consumers who want, nice, neat packaged narrative. This is deep. Like, nah, bro. This shit is ass. Like, it's
And it
just
is a
bad.
tough hang. And it is a tough hang, bro. It is bad. It is bad, and it is not something that will make you feel good about life when you're watching it. It is just bad all around.
And it's not
No
even
desire
like
to to watch.
Super, like I didn't even get to anything that was like super off the wall, disturbing or anything like that yet when I watched it. I mean, like there's the weird like politics on abortion or whatever. Your mileage may vary on all of that, but like I didn't get to anything that was just like super crazy NC-17. Like, can't believe I'm looking at this. Like, why would they make this kind of stuff? It was just bad. Like, it's just a bad movie.
It's really bad, and it is not doing great. Anything else y'all watch on the movie side that we probably won't do an episode on, but you either recommend or tell people to stay away from?
College football. Don't view it. It sucks.
I don't watch that. I don't know what that is.
Hey,
work.
there's nothing wrong with college football. College football is fine and good.
Why would you ever
Basketball pod.
Yeah, you have to be a fucking idiot to care about sports. It's so stupid.
But yeah, I saw Amsterdam. They did like a IMAX preview thing or whatever. It wasn't like a special like, press screening or anything like that. You literally just go buy a ticket. And that's what I did. So that movie is up and down, but I felt like they stuck the landing a little bit. So I'd probably give it like a B or a B plus. Not as good as it could have been, but still decent.
Too early to tell on Oscar stuff.
Oh, it's not winning any Oscars.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
no.
I'm going to go check out Smile this week. I'm very excited
Oh.
about that.
Oh, absolutely not. No way.
I know y'all not gonna watch that
Keep
shit.
that
I know y'all
interview
not gonna
away
watch
from
it.
me and my family.
Y'all not gonna watch it. I'm gonna see Smile this week, for sure. And I want to see Bros this week as well. I think I'm gonna check out Bros at some point because I love Judd Apatow.
I think that is going to be our next review. Is going to be Bros. We'll wrap this up here. Not doing well at the box office, and the cast
Which
is
has led
taking
to
it-
a whole discourse.
Yeah, the cast is having a very normal one about that.
Didn't they blame gay people or something, or straight people? They just said straight people aren't showing up to the movie.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't want to like speculate, but the discourse that I saw was basically like nobody wanted to go see a gay rom-com, which
What are the critics saying? Is
don't
it
know.
good?
The critics have given it pretty good reviews.
I mean,
what I've seen.
I'm definitely gonna be in there.
So yeah, I'm gonna be in there too.
I'm a P.
But there's other things like they marketed the fuck out of that Smile movie, so that's probably what people went. Like it just and
That's
then you're
fair.
going up on week 2 against a Harry Styles movie. Like it's
Fair
tough at the
timing.
box office out here. Comedies just don't make money. It just is what it is. It's a weird
No, that's
thing.
fair.
It's a weird thing that we're faced with. I wish that wasn't the case. I loved going to the theater and laughing with everyone else, but this just has been and probably will continue to be a movie that they would have released on Netflix. You know what I mean?
Well,
Even though it's
hope-
probably more elevated than that, we haven't seen it. That's probably going to be our next review. Is going to be Bros.
I'm down with that.
But yeah, also it's Real Cinema Hours coming up here soon. This week we got Triangle of Sadness dropping, which is apparently the heat. Tar is dropping this weekend, which is apparently the heat. Like, so we're starting to heat up a little bit here. Like, we're getting into the Oscar season for real now. And
If y'all have links
in the
to
movie
these-
theaters every fucking week.
Bro,
To these
Oscar
movies,
season is
I don't
coming.
know if Tar is going to be playing at the Cinemark in Waco, Texas. Yeah, I'll take one ticket for. It'll be me and all old people in there.
Yeah, you and like 3 elderly white couples in Waco. We'll see that movie. That's how you know it's gonna be a banger every time.
I think the Oscar race is wide open, so I am fucking ecstatic about the end of the year movie slate because
We'll see.
I think there's
it's the
time for
Fabelmans.
some. You think it's the Fablemans?
I think it's the.
I hope so.
Fabelmans gonna
I hope
win
it's
there.
as good as everybody's
They're
saying.
they're the front runners right now, but obviously, like the movie has to come out. We got to see how people actually react to it outside of fucking flying to Italy or whatever to watch the shit for free.
Getting paid to go watch. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful people.
I'm ready.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a banger, and it sounded like Kate Blanchett is her again, like yet again.
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 Yet
Who would
again.
have thought this Kate? This Kate Blanchett lady is really gonna make a name for herself.
Kate Blanchett still got it. Who would have thought?
All right, let's wrap it up. You can find us at the One Take Pod, One Take Pod on Twitter, One Take Pod on Instagram. You can go follow us at @less_humble_teej, at Lord Dex Hinton, and at Royden Ogletree. You can find Dex is writing a billion articles at like 18 different places now, apparently. So
Yeah. So check me out on Screen Rant. Check me out on ApolloSAU.com. And yeah, just follow me on Twitter. I'll tweet all the shit I write on there, and you can read it, and that'll be fun.
Teach has 18 other podcasts. You can find those
college football, even though Royden and Dex will tell you that it's bad, we will be talking about Baylor football this week on Slander U. Definitely check us out there.
I kind of want to come on.
Oh, no.
We're having a good time. We're having a good time.
No. You don't have to do that.
I'm a masochist. I don't want to come on and.
And Underhooks is obviously still going strong. So yeah, we're podding over here. Check us out.
So yeah, again, you can find us at One Take Pod. Go rate and review our stuff. If you want to watch anything else that I'm doing, I'm the worst part of this podcast. But if you want to watch anything else that I'm doing, I have thank you. I have a video game show that I do weekly on Hardwired on YouTube called Uplink with Andrew Hamilton. It's a video game news show. We talk about all the latest stuff going on. This week we talked about the death of Google Stadia. A lot of the times,
RIP in pieces.
RIP in P, man. It's just like 18 different gaming studios came out and were like, we were making a thing for this, and you just shut it down. So that's great. Anyway, so you can find that on Hardwired on YouTube. Also, I do a show about the Big 12 football because I just said that football was bad, called the Big 1-2 on 365 Sports. Go find that. Me and former guest Paul Catalina, who has bad and wrong opinions about Beyonce. We do a show about Big 12 football and how weird and wild that is. So it's called the Big 1-2.
Kansas is gonna win the goddamn conference, bro.
Unbelievable. Unreal.
Kansas is gonna win the fucking conference.
The last time, Dex, that they started 5-0, we were in 9th grade.
Holy shit.
Or 8th grade for you, I think. But
they are football overlords now.
They were 5-0. Last time they were 5-0, their freshmen were kindergartners.
Oh man, that's fucking nasty.
That's
Holy shit.
That's nuts. So yeah, go follow us there. Again, rate, subscribe, leave us some reviews. We really appreciate it. Go leave us some reviews on Spotify as well. And Dex, one more time, after this whole whirlwind of speculation, we have finally done Don't Worry, Darling, but what will we continue to do?
Hashtag support Florence Pugh, baby, all the time. The Wonder is coming out this year. She got another movie, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna be
One
here
that
again.
is allegedly better than this. All right. We're out.